Hey, this is an update on what's going on in my life, some observations. We're going to talk a little bit about some scripture and how it relates to going through tough times. It's still a process for me, so there's no conclusion to this story. You're in the right place. Welcome to the Kenn Blanchard Show, helping you, encouraging you, and making you smile with wisdom, interviews, and stuff to help you survive another week. I was sitting in the hospital room, and my wife was in the bed, and she was connected to a whole bunch of IVs and antibiotics. Bonanza was on the television screen. I had changed the channel to something that she would watch if she was home, chilling on the couch. She wasn't looking at it. She wasn't looking at anything. She has an infection in her brain that has been there and been caused by the surgery that she had in May. It's been a rough few months. May 17th, she went in for removal of a tumor in her head, and it took her out. She lost the ability to walk and to talk and to eat and to do a whole bunch of stuff for herself. Second surgery got 98% of the tumor out and took her out, pretty much. Still living, but more zombie than anything, like a lobotomy. A month of rehab, a month in the hospital, a month at home, and we were starting to get her back to herself. It was kind of nice to watch. It was a slow progression. Speech pathologist, physical therapist, occupational therapist, Ken trying to be a therapist. My daughter, we just working it. And then she got an infection. Her G-tube got dislocated, had to get rushed to the emergency room. And she stayed in hospital for another 45 days. So here I was sitting there. She just got transferred back to Johns Hopkins, another hospital, the original hospital. And waiting for the doctors to come in and folks to ask me questions that you would think they have records for all this stuff, but they don't. Everybody just asks you. And hopefully the person that's there can be informative and give them what they need. This lady walked in about pharmaceutical stuff. She was asking me about what medicines my wife was on. And I'm trying to pronounce the words, and she changes her tone just a tad. Her voice changes into an island accent, maybe even African. But she tells me, "Don't let the devil steal your joy." And it was like, what? Huh? She says, your joy. Don't let him steal it. She was just standing there talking to me about medicines. And then one of the alarms on the IV machine, the pump thing, just starts going off. It's beeping. And there's a nurse and a doctor right outside the door station, and they never even look up. It's like the tone is, they're deaf to it, but it's irritating. It's beep, 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 beep. It means either the bag is clogged or it's empty. I can tell that it's almost empty. So why don't they come in here? But it's beeping, beep, beep, beep. She says, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but let me tell you this, that your faith is strong. Stand on the word of God. And don't let the devil steal your joy. Because when he does, then you won't pray the same. You won't be the same. You won't help your wife It will rob you of your strength. A bewildered nurse walks in and he says, okay, I'll turn this thing off now. And he just looks like he's lost. But he calls the doctor and walks away. The noise stops. And the lady is still talking about the joy of the Lord is my strength. You know, some people, you talk about angels talking to you and all that good stuff. They look at you like you got 3 heads. But I'm going to tell you something. I was struggling with that joy part. The fact that she used that word specifically out of all the words in the English dictionary was right on key. There is an element in my heart that's grieving the loss of life, the way things used to be. Nothing's funny. I'm having, normal sized depression about right now. And I'm dealing with it. I'm doing all the stuff that you're supposed to do to stay healthy. And as soon as you get through one element of grief and they don't all go in the right stages, that stuff comes back because things change. So circumstances change. And I'm functioning. I'm doing my level best to maintain, to stay positive. But sometimes I just fall apart. I'm glad there's nobody there watching it when I do, because it's ugly. And then some people will say, oh man, you're doing so good. No, I'm not doing that great. I'm struggling. Not superhuman, not anything. I'm just me. Leaning on God, trusting in God. See, I know He's in charge. I know He's supreme. I know He's the real deal. He can flip a switch if He wants. Either way. He can change my whole life. Either way. I also know that this is a process that I have to go through. Nobody likes the process. Some people even stop learning because they don't want to do the process. They just quit. And like my guitar, we spend most of our life trying to get in tune. We try to get in harmony with others. And when it's not easy, we stop or we quit. Try to be in that state of agreement, of understanding. We try to match people. Harmony is the structure of music. It's a combination of simultaneous musical notes and a chord. The structure of music with respect to composition and progression of chords. It's life. The abstract of it is a science of the structure. It's relations and progressions of chords, which are people trying to get into harmony. And the big word for today is congruence. We're not always in tune, though. Sometimes we're flat. Sometimes we're sharp. With a guitar, a sharp is 1 semitone higher in pitch. Technically, while a flat is 1 semitone lower. For instance, a C sharp is 1 semitone higher or 1 fret up than a C, and a D flat is 1 semitone lower or 1 fret down than a D. And sometimes in life, we're flat with people. Sometimes we're sharp with people. And sometimes, most of the times, we don't know that we're out of tune. And that would be what you call a disharmony. A lot of times we know it, though. And you can tell when you're out of accord with another person. We give it different names, not necessarily musical ones. Playing this guitar during this time period, during this COVID pandemic, has taught me more than to how to play a chord or keep time or entertain myself. Right now, it's the one thing that I can do that totally takes my mind off of my worries. I can't concentrate on playing the right tune, putting my fingers in the right places, keeping the melody straight, forming the chord, fixing it, whatever. from thinking about anything else. It's the safest alternative I've got right now. It means a lot to me. I look on social media and I see like younger people cranking it, man. They're just doing it. Or people who have been playing for years and years, and they just effortlessly make music. The good news is I'm no longer jealous of that. I've learned that comparison is the thief of joy. If comparisons have you feeling down, try to spend some time thinking about some positives. Comparison is a fundamental part of being human because it's how we acquaint ourselves with reality. But you shouldn't compare our real life with the fake life of somebody we've never met on Instagram or Facebook. That's a false comparison. Unless you're really close to someone, you can't use their outward appearance to judge the reality of their life. See, people carefully curate the social media version of their lives and do the same with the lives they live out publicly. You have to have the experiences, as I have, of being shocked when a couple that appeared to be happy and all of a sudden announced a divorce. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind closed doors that you have no clue. It is the enemy of God. His job is to make you feel inadequate, less than a child of God, less than a blessed person that you are. Sometimes the enemy is not the devil, not Satan. It's your mind. It's the things we have allowed to influence us. It's our false beliefs. It's the junk you have taken into your psyche. It's bad programming. It's negative thinking. It's the poison of pain that you keep. It's unforgiveness. It's hate. It's guilt. It's spiritual forces that have taken root in that holy vessel we call our body. And most of the time, the spiritual enemy knows. They've watched you long enough and can push your buttons. So you got those two things working against you. Always find something to be thankful for, even in the hard times. By definition, grateful is feeling or showing appreciation for something done or received. The definition of thankful is feeling pleased and relieved. Grateful. If you commit yourself to being deeply grateful for what's good in your life, and you can remind yourself of it daily, you'll be far less vulnerable to that thing called envy. Envy is that feeling of discontentment or resentment, longing aroused by someone else's possessions, their qualities, or their fortune, their luck. The Bible tells us in James 3:16 that for where envying and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work. Yeah. You got to lead your comparisons in the right direction. Away from envy, away from pride, away from covetousness, away from self-pity, and toward a Christ-like imitation and a fear of the Lord. That'll make you a better parent, a better mentor, a better friend, a better you. And see, for the church folks among us, sometimes we are so heavenly minded that we are so churchy that we're no earthly good. I was reading Matthew 16, verse 27, and it says, "For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works." And I thought, wow, he will reward each person according to what they have done. Heavenly minded. There's some people that are so sectional, so specific, so random in their works. They only are good on Sunday. Monday through Saturday, who knows what they'll say. It's not really a practice. They're only churchy good. The Bible also tells us in 2 Corinthians 5:10, "For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that each one may receive the things done in the body according to what he has done, whether good or bad." What should we be doing then? This was my question to God. That even though I'm going through, even though I'm suffering, even though I'm angry, even though I'm sad, even though I'm depressed, even though I'm struggling, continue to help other people. Continue to be a good steward of what you've been given. Continue to make somebody laugh, make somebody smile. Help another person as best you can. For what is a man profited if he should gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Sometimes we're looking for some really big thing to do. Use me, O Lord. Help me, Father. Do this for me and I will do X for you. For the most part, God just wants us to help one another. It doesn't have to be grandiose. Just do what Jesus would do. Help somebody in your circle. Be nicer. Be kinder. Just be an agent of the Lord. And he will reward each person according to what they have done. All right, it's enough of that sad stuff for today, but I'm hoping I said something that made sense to you. And even nothing made sense, at least I caught you up on what's going on in my life. Thank you for listening, downloading, and supporting this podcast and all the other ones that I do on Blanchard Network. Just in case nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Until next time, shalom, baby.